Hello everyone. So we'll install the Anaconda software. So for that, you have to go to the your favorite Google, like whatever the browser you are using. So there you have to go, and then you can see here. So you can type Anaconda download, and then you go here. So whatever the first link you will see, this www.anaconda.com. Go here. You can go in a pricing, okay, and whichever the free versions will be there, you can do download that one, or you can say that free download, okay. So you go and click on this download button, and it will start downloading. So it's a 787 MB file, so it will take some time. It will take some time to download this one. After downloading, we'll install, and then we'll show you that how we are going to install the software, like Anaconda software, and how we are going to do practice our Python course. So it's quite fast, but still it will take some time. Uh, okay, so uh, the recording of that, and then I'll install and again install it. So last class we have seen the fundamental of Python. So today we are going to see identifiers. So what are the identifiers in the Python? So a name in Python program is called as identifier. So whatever the name you give to your variable or the class name or any function, you give a name that will be called as identifier. So there are some rules will be there uh, by which you can give the identifier name. So an identifier start with a letter A to Z. So you can give a identifier name as A to Z, like variable name A is equals to 10, B is equals to 20, like that you can give variable name, or class name also you can give with the some combinations of letter and or A to Z. So you can have a combinations of A to Z also, or you can use underscore also. So there are three things. Okay. So followed by zero or more letter. So an identifier start with the letter A to Z, or A to Z, a small letter, the lowercase, and then uppercase also you can use in an identifier, an underscore followed by a zero or more letter. Okay, underscore and digit, you can take it from 0 to 9 also. You can utilize this thing in an identifier. So it can be a class name, that identifier can be a class name, or function name, or module name, or your variable name. So you are declaring your variable and you are assigning some value. So you can use the identifier with the combinations of A to Z, A to Z lowercase, or underscore, or followed by zero, underscore, and digit 0 to 9 also. You can take this combination, and you can take all this identifier. For examples, like you have the combinations of this one. So when you say that language equals to Python, so this is kind of identifier. So this is the identifier, and this is the value you are assigning to this identifier. So this is a variable. You can say that this is a variable, and if you want to execute this in your PyCharm, so you can do that. Okay, now your this one is open. So someone asked me, like, if I run this square, it's not running it. It's showing something else, like hi PyCharm, because you are running here main window. Like here, this is the main, no? Here is the program for this PyCharm. They are printing it. So if you want to print this one, so you'll say that here, you'll go here in the main, and you will say that current file. So it will take current file only. If you are running this one, then you will say that current file here. Okay, so whatever the things are there, you can do it. So like this, I have created an identifier. I have given the name like the lowercase of the combinations of lowercase, and then I have assigned some value here. And when you will run this one, it will show you some output. So what is the output? It is saying Python. Or if whatever the value you will pass here, the variable value, whatever the value you will pass here, JIT solution. So if you write like this, so it will give you that value only, because this value will be assigned to this variable. So we'll see that what is variable and all in the next topic. So now if you run this one, it will show you that JIT solution. So like this, you can create the identifier. And now if you'll see that rules to define your identifiers in a Python, some rules are there. The only allowed characters in Pythons are lowercase a to z, uppercase a to z, okay, digits 0 to 9, or an underscore symbol. You can have this combinations only when you declare any variable name and all. So here are naming conventions for the Python identifier. Python class name start with the uppercase letter. So only the when you will define Python class, no, there when you write the class name, like anything, consider that I'm going to create a class student. So in that student, the like S should be a capital letter or uppercase letter. So S should be, when you declare a student as a class, so you have to make sure that that class name start with the uppercase letter. Like first letter should be in uppercase. All other identifier start with the lowercase. All other identifier you declare it as a lowercase. So that we'll see when we'll discuss class Python class, and that time we'll see that one. Okay. So now starting an identifier with a single leading underscore indicate that the identifier is private identifier. Starting an identifier with two leading underscore indicate a strongly private identifier. This is not much important, but just for reading purpose, it's fine. Okay. If the identifier also ends with the two trailing underscore, the identifier a language defined a special name. So this all three are not much important here. So we have some Python reserved word. Okay, so we the Python reserved words are there. So you can create your variables, you can define your identifier, but Python is having some reserved word. So if you'll define that one, if you'll make that as a identifier variable, it will not work. The following list shows the Python keyword. These are the reserved word, and you cannot use them as a constant or variable or any other identifier name. So these are the word you cannot use in your to declare a variable or to declare a function or to declare a class. You cannot use this one, like and, as, assert, break, class, continue, def, del, elif, else, except. All these things are identifier, guys. So you cannot use in your like when you define your variable name or class name, function name, module name, or constant name, you cannot use this word. Otherwise, it will throw error. So okay, so how to find the keyword in a PyCharm editor? You can write it like this, and it will show you that what are the keywords in the PyCharm we have. Now, if you'll go here in your PyCharm and type here all this one, if you run this one, then it will show you that what are the keywords we have here. Reserved word. Keyword means reserved word, guys. You cannot use this word in your when you declare a class name, or you create a variable name, or when you give the function name or module name. These are the word you cannot use, like false, none, true, and, as, assert, as, wait, break, class, continue, def, delete. All these things. There are, I guess, how many are there? So many are there. I guess 35 keywords are there. Reserved words are there. You cannot use this word in your to declare a variable, class, or module, or all these things. Okay, so like this, you can find your variables. Okay, So next one is like indentation. So this is very, very important in Python. This is very, very important. Indentation is a very important concept of the Python, because without properly in dating the Python code, you will end up seeing an indentation error. So if you not use indentation properly, then it will act like it will throw you the error. Okay. And the code will not get compiled. Okay. So blocks of code are denoted by the line indentation, which is rigidly enforced. Okay. So block of code are denoted by the line indentation. To consider that you are writing if condition. You are writing if condition, and this print is a part of this if condition. This print statement is a part of this if condition. So you have to give some indentation, you have to give some blank space, you have to give some white space here to run this one properly, to make it run properly. Python indentation refer to adding white space before a statement to a particular block of code. So you have to give proper. When you are writing else part, so else part is a part of this one only. So when you are writing in the same line, so means like it is a continuation of this line only. If true, then print true, else print false, else print false. Okay. So here also, when you are writing else part, you have to give some indentation. And when you are writing here also, you have to give some indentation. So this is how you're going to use your indentation in Python, and it's very important. If you not give proper white spaces after the statement, then it will throw error. Then it will throw error. So something like this, I'll show you the example of this. Okay, I'll show you the example of like this. Are you able to see my screen, guys? Now, if I'm declaring A is equals to 10, B is equals to 20. So A is a variable, B is a variable. Okay, and A is, we are giving here, if A is greater than B, if A is greater than B, then return true, else return false, else return false. So what it will return, guys, here? It will return false. It will return false because we know that A is not greater than B. 10 is not greater than 20. So when you will run this one, you will get false. So output will return false. So like this, you can write query. So it's very important and very this thing. So if you will not give here, if I'll not give indentation, if will not give indentation here, so it will throw error, guys. It will throw error. Now you see here, it's a red lines are coming here. Now you run and then see. It's saying that expected an indented block after if a statement on line 5. So it's saying that you have to give some space here. You have to give some space. So you can take one tab is a normal normal space. So when you run this one, then it will run properly. So like it's showing as a false. So indentation is very important. Otherwise, it will throw error. So something like this, if you are going to run it, it will throw error, because if true, then we have to give a space here, and then this print will be for the main thing only. Now you run this one. Now you run and then see it will throw error. Expect a return block after if a statement on line number 3. So it's saying that here only we supposed to get a space. Now run again, you will get again invalid syntax. Invalid syntax. It is saying that invalid syntax. So expected indented block after else part. Now again saying that after else part we have to give the space. Now you run again, it will say that the answer is answer true and false. This is for the false. This is showing as a false. Okay, this is showing as a false for this one. Okay, if you give indentation, then it's saying as a true, because when we have taken this line here, so it is considering for this line. It is considering output for this line, so it will give you the false. It is a continuation of this if condition. Okay, so we'll see that in detail later. So that's why it is showing you true, false here. When you will make it here, after indentation. So it will be a part of this else statement, and then it will give you, if it's proper, then only it will give you answer. Otherwise, it will not give you the answer. Okay. So now what we'll do? We'll go for the next level. Now see here, when we have written if 5 is greater than 2, so we have given the proper indentation here. So it will run properly. It will run properly. Another example of this, we can say that uh, if you want to run this one, so output will be 5 is greater than 2, because really 5 is greater than 2, correct? So 5 is greater than 2. So it is showing as a 5 is greater than 2. If you will not give a space, it will throw error. If you will not give a space, it will throw error. Here it is indentation. It's asking for indentation. Okay. So this is what we have. The next query, what I have shown you this one. So indentation part, it works like this one, guys. This part, it works like this one. So if you want to see here, just see it. A statement is there, if condition, if condition. Okay. So when you see a statement, code block 1 begins. If condition, code block 1 continues. Okay. So this is a continuation of this first one only. Then if condition, again we are writing if condition, if condition, and then code block 2 begins, and then this we are giving the indentation here, and then a statement, code block 3 begins. Now else part, this else part, code block 2 continues. So for this it's a continuation. Code block 3 continue. Okay, code block 3 continue. Code block 1 continue. So when you're writing in this parallel to this one, so it's a statement is nothing but code block 1, code block 1. Okay. So like this, it works in a like this, it works in an interpreter, in Python interpreter, PyCharm interpreter. It works like this. So it will be difficult to understand now, but when you will work on like multiple programs in Python, it will be very much clear. In Python, all the continuous line indented with the same number of space would form a block. The following examples has various statement blocks, so we don't want this. Okay, now multi-line statement, multi-line statement. So if you want to write multi-line statement, then how you can write it? A statement in Python typically ends with a new line. A statement in Python typically ends with a new line. When you write your query, here when you have written your query, so it's over. This is over. This line is over, and it will consider that you're going to write the another line. So we have seen just now some of the. Now see, when you have written this one, so it's considering that this line is over, and you have written the second line. So that's what same thing in the Python also. Python does, however, allow the usage of the line continuation character. So if you want to continue your line, multiple line in one only, so you can write it like this with the slash, okay, with the backward slash, and then to denote that the line should be continue. For example, this is the one example, guys. This is the one example, item 1 plus backslash item 2, and then backslash, or it's a forward slash. Item 3, a statement continued with the square bracket for flower bracket or the small brackets do not need to use the line continuation character. Now, if you see here inside the square bracket, they have mentioned the items. So in this case, they don't have to mention here like this. They don't have to mention. It will be considered as like you are continuing this value. So you are going to add this days in this days variable. So like this, you will have the things. So it's not much important, but just for your knowledge, I have added here. So quotations in Python, we have single quote, we have double quote, we have double quote, and we have triple quote. We have triple quote. Now, if you'll see here, you can write your string in a single quote. You can write your string in a single quote, or if you want, you can write your you can write your string in a double quote. And if you want to write multiple lines, this is a paragraph. It is made of multiple lines sentence. If you want to write your if you want to write your string in multiple lines, then you can use triple double quote, triple quote. Okay, so you can use triple double quote like this. You can use, and when you run this one, I'll show you that how it will looks like when you run in a PyCharm. Now you see here the expected output, we can say that word, it will show word, and this is a sentence, this is a paragraph. It is made up of multiple lines and sentences. When you run this one, it will show you. It will give you the output like this. So this is the word, first a variable, second variable, value, and third is like when we have used triple quote. See, triple quote, when we have used triple quote, so it is showing as a same output. Correct. Like, see, it's not continuing in the same line, but it is showing in the different line. So if you want like this also, we can make it and then see the output. Now see, it's a continuation. But when you're writing like this, so it is showing as a multiple line, multiple line. Let's make more multiple line and see. Now see, three lines. It is showing as a three line. If you want, you can give a space also. Let's see, space will be considered in this or not. Now see, space also it's considering in this. So like this, you can use single quote, double quote, and then triple quote. So this is what the identifier, guys, in the identifier as well as the quotations in Python, then a multi-line statement. We'll see more in detail in the future upcoming chapters. And then indentation is very important for the Python. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can drop your message in the chat box. Someone asked, so it's a tab or a space. Let's see that. Okay. Now we'll give the space and see whether it's working or not. So it's working. The space, if you'll give single space also, it's working fine. If you'll give a tab also, that looks fine. Like you will not get confused in this case. When you will give tab, no, you will not get confused in this case. Mean like you have given the space. But if you'll give single space, it's like whether you have given or not, it's like hardly it's difficult to identify that. So it's a better practice if you'll give tab here. If you'll give tab, it's better. Okay. So that one question someone asked. So that's what, like another question came. Sir, indentation is only for if a statement. Other than that also, when you will be writing class or for loop and all, we'll see that time by time when we'll do practice. No, like I just explained you the concept of indentation, and when we'll run functions and all, no, there also it will be used. So time by time we'll see that where to give, where not to give. Okay, so next one will be, let me see whether software is installed, downloaded or not. Okay, so software is downloaded. So what we'll do, Anaconda software, guys. So I'm showing you the Anaconda software. So double click on this one. Double click on this one, and the Anaconda software will start installation. It will start installing. It will ask some permission. Let me see. It's initializing. Okay, now here saying, if you see here, welcome to Anaconda 3 2003 3 or 64 bits setup. Now, if you'll click on next, it will take you to the next this thing, and some agreements are there. So you say that I agree, and then all users you can do for all users, and next, yes. Now here, by default, it is going to store in a C folder, program data, Anaconda 3. So if you want to store in somewhere else, you can give the path here. Otherwise, it's all fine. So, and it's the space required 4.7 GB. Space available is saying that only 13 GB. Let me see. Clear the package cache upon completion. Okay, install. It's taking some time. So, someone asked some questions. So, let me install and then we'll come back to it. So, it's installing. So, it's in the end phase. Okay. So someone asked me question like if we are using multiple sentences, like more than four sentences. You can use more four sentences. We have made it, no, four sentences. We made it correct. Like I'll show you that. If you are writing like this, like if you are executing this one, so it is having how many sentences now? It is having two sentences. If you are going to make three sentences, let's make it three sentences. Then three sentences also it will show you. Now three sentences it is showing. Then if you want to make it four sentences, let's see that. It is showing four sentences. There is nothing like these are the things you can also do practice. Clear? I don't know how it opened two windows for the installation. So it's taking more time because it's a very big file, 4.5 GB. Okay, so that is what the things. Any doubt? Is it clear, Madhukar? So next one we'll see. After this, we'll see we have completed our identifier. Next one will go to the let it be installed. So comment section. So we are going to do comment. Okay, we are going to read the comment. So now you can read this one. Okay, guys. So, this Python will discuss Python comments. It's a very small topic. So, Python comments are also very interesting topic. Very interesting topic. So, what is there in a Python comment? So, like, if you want to comment some of the code, or like you want to, comment some of the dialogue, like to make more understandable code. So, you can add some comment also in your programs. So, if you like, there Python comments are programmer readable explanation or annotations in the Python source code. So if any of the code you want to add any comment in for the any of the code, you can add a comment. So the like Python will not read that one. So Python will not read that one. So it will just ignore that comment. Whatever the if you mention comment, so it will just ignore the comment. So they are added with the purpose of making the source code easier for the human to understand. So consider you have written some of the code, okay, and you have added comment also after that. So Python will ignore that one. Python will ignore that one, and it will read only the major comment here, okay, major comments here. So and are ignored by the Python interpreter. Comments available in Python are single line comment and multi-line comments are there. So there are two types of comments in Python. One is single line comment, another one is multi-line comment. So there are two types of comments, single line comment and multi-line comments. Okay. So what is single line comment? A single line comment, a hash sign you will find in your computer. A hash sign that is not inside a string literals begins a comment. Begins a comment. A hash sign that is not inside a string literal begins a comment. All character after the hash and up to the end of the physical line, like only one line. When you are writing your hash, so it will be considered as a one physical line. So it will be considered as a, after hash, it will consider as a one physical line. It will go up to there only are part of the comment and the Python interpreter ignores them all character after the hash and up to the end of the physical line. The same line where it will end till there only it will go. If you will go in the next line, it will throw error. Okay. Physical line are part of the comment and the Python interpreter ignores them. Where whichever the line you will mention has and whatever the comment you will mention there, so Python will not execute that one. It will ignore that line. So it will not do the execution for the same and it will not execute that line. Comments can be used to explain Python code. Comments can be used to explain Python codes, guys. Comments can be used to explain Python code. Okay. So if you want to, if you have written any code and you want to define those things, you can add your comment in that. Like developers and all, generally when they write big, okay, so whatever the like developers will write big coding, so there they'll have habit to add the comments so that like in future they'll be able to identify that okay fine, so this code is for this one. It's taking too long time. Okay, the comments can be used to explain Python code. The comments can be used to explain Python code. Comments can be used to make the code more readable. All these things are definition of comment. So you can read and then you can keep it. Now you see here, the examples will be like this. So this is the comment, guys. This is the comment, and the Python will not execute this line. Python will execute this line only. Now see the simple examples will take, and will show you the here. Now you see here, Python will not execute this one, and Python will ignore this line. So what Python will execute? It will execute this line. This line only it will execute. Now you run and then see. See, hello world. It's executing only hello world. It's not executing this line. So Python is ignoring because you have written with the hash. So anything you write here, okay, like hash with the hash. So I'm writing Jayant Kumar like this. So it will ignore. It will ignore. Okay, it will ignore. Let me show with without a space. Okay, without a space also it's working. With a space also it's working. Now see, this is Python class. Run and then it will ignore whatever the line you want to add. You can add multiple lines using hash symbol in the Python, and it's very important because you are going to write the coding. Uh, that will be very cool. Okay, this produces the following result. So this the output we have seen here. You can type a comment on the same line after a statement or the expression, like whatever the things we have explained. After this also you can add comment here. You can add after this also comment like this. Whatever the comment you want to write, you can write it. It will be ignored. It will ignore after has. It will be ignored. Whatever you want to write, you can write it. It will be ignored. Multi-line comments. What is the meaning of multi-line comments? So this is the multi-line comment. So you can add more number of hash here, and you can write multi-line comments. Okay, like how we have added multi-line comments. You can add how many comments you want. You can add here, and you can add here. Okay. So now next one. Next one is following triple quote string is also ignored by the Python interpreter and can be used as a multi-line comment. So now if you see the triple quote. So triple quote also will be ignored by the Python interpreter. So Python interpreter will ignore this also, triple quote. If you mention triple quote now, Python will ignore this one. Python will ignore this one. How many lines of code you write between this triple quote, Python will ignore this one. Let's see that. Now here, see, when we'll run this one, it will give only hello world. And how many lines of code you want to write, you can write it like this. See, hello world. Okay. So this is what the multi-line comment, guy, multi-line comment. Okay. If you want to see one more example like this also, you can see. Person satisfied with the more workout, happy, Pasant. Now see, you are getting hello world only, and you are added multi-line comment. So if how many lines of comment you want to add, you can add here. It will print only what is there. It will be ignored by the Python interpreter. So this is your multi-line comment. Okay, let me see. Taking too long. I don't know what happened. Okay, it's showing that completed. Next button it is showing. Okay. So we are installing this one. So next button. So now here it is saying that Anaconda, Jupyter and all. Next. And just a second. So uncheck this one. Okay. Now finish. So when you will do finish, so you will be able to see that Anaconda is there in this one. Anaconda. Now see Anaconda navigator, we have to go open the Anaconda navigator. It's loading. You're visible, guys? So Meena, you have set the environment variable, correct? Okay. So there is environment. Okay. Now, if you'll see here, the Jupyter, your Anaconda tool. In this, you have lots of things are there. Now, see, data cmd.exe, and we need Jupyter here. We need Jupyter. PyCharm community also there. You can try to use Jupyter here. It will be very easy. Now you see here all these things, and you can click on the desktop, and so you can click here new, and then if you click on this, it will take you to the command prompt. Now you can write here your code. It's very easy. Print. I really like this one compared to PyCharm, but for the Selenium purpose, we have to run that only. Hello world, and then run. It will be executed. Now see, you are getting the output. A is equals to 10, uh, B is equals to 20, and C is equals to A plus B. Now see the output you will get, and then you have to print also. Print C. Now see you got the output as a 30. So this is how do you feel how it looks? It's easy. Okay, so like this, you can type your whatever the query you want, whatever the query we have written, like this query, if you want, you can copy and then you can paste there. Anyway, I'm not going to give you, the Word document. I'm going to give you the image one so that like you can write it. You can write by your hand and then you try to do practice by writing the code. Then only you will learn properly. Otherwise, it will be dummy learn. Okay. Okay, so you can install both the software and whichever the software you like, you can work on that. But I really like Anaconda. Anaconda Jupyter. I like the most. Anaconda Jupyter. I like most. So it's taking me to the PyCharm only directly. When I'm clicking here, this launch, it is taking me to the PyCharm only directly. See? PyCharm because it's able to find out that PyCharm is installed in my laptop. So you can install Anaconda as well if you have memory in your laptop. Then try to do like if you want easy version, then go in a Jupyter. Like try to install in Windows 7. Like whoever is having Windows 7, and then try to install. It will be you will be able to install it. Okay, is it fine, guys? Everyone? Shall I take more or shall I stop it? Okay. So now next one will be Next one we'll see like your comment is over. So today, two topics we made it over. So we are going to start the third topic. So third topic is nothing but yours. Let me close it. Any doubt in comment if you have any? Python variable. So very important topic. And this is big topic. Okay, so we'll finish half of the things and then we'll finish half of the things tomorrow and we'll move to the next topic. Now see Python variable. So just read this one. Python variable up to here you read. Okay, guys. So what is Python variable? No, like if you see, no, this is the variable. This is variable. Like this is variable. This is the variable. Okay. Variable means which will change the value, which you can change the value. When you create a variable, you reserve some space in the memory. And, the moment you will create a variable, like you are creating a variable with integer variable. Okay, integer value. You're creating a variable with integer value and you are storing some the moment you are creating this variable you are blocking some space in the memory. Okay, Python has no command for declaring a variable. So how we used to do in SQL, like numbers, then data types, the varchar2 or date data types and all. So we were declaring the columns name with the some data type. Here we don't have the Python does not have the variable concept. The moment you will assign the value to a variable, that will be considered as that variable will belongs to that value. Like if you'll see the example here, now this 100 is written under the counter. Counter is equals to 100. What will happen here? So it will act like a variable, integer variable. So this creates an integer variable. The moment you assign a value, it will act like that variable only. Now your price you are giving as a 1000.0. So creates a floating point variable. Creates a floating point variable. Name you have given the Jayant Kumar. So it will act like a string variable. It will act like a string variable. So what are the different types of data types are there in a Python? We'll see. Maybe tomorrow we'll see. Okay, so now if you run this one, so it will print whatever the value you have written here. If you want, you can print in Jupyter. Yeah. Now if you want, you can run this one and you are getting 100, like you are printing this value 100. This value is printing as a 1000.0, which is floating point, and this is string. This is the string data. This is the string data. 100 is integer data. This is the floating data, and then this is the string data. So what is the meaning of this? These are all variables, guys. These are all variable. Left side of things will be called as variables. Now, based on the data types of variable, Python interpreter allocates memory and decide that can be stored in the reserved memory. So, like what will happen? No, like the moment you will assign the value to the variable, that memory will be taken from it will allocate the memory accordingly. If it's integer, so whatever the integer variable will take the memory, it will be assigned, it will be allocated to for this variable. If you'll run floating, so floating point will take some other memory, so it will be allocated for the floating point. A string will have the memory allocation differently. So creating a Python variable, you can say that a Python variable is created automatically when you assign a value to it. So the moment you will assign this value to a variable, that variable will be created and the value will be assigned, and you don't have to define that it's a number, it's a where it's a string, or it's like whatever the value you will assign here, that time only it will be created. Okay, the equal sign is used to assign value to a variable. So what is this equal sign will assign this value to this variable. Okay, so that is the meaning. Printing Python variable. Printing Python variable. Once we create a Python variable and assign a value to it, we can print it using print function. Okay, so whatever the value you are assigning here, whatever the value you are assigning here, if you want to print this value, then you can say that print of A, print of B, print of name, like same thing we have seen in the previous example just now. And if you want, you can run here, or if you want, you can run in a PyCharm. Now here, if you run here, now see, you are getting the 100,000.0, and then Jayant Kumar, like this, you are doing it. Okay. So this is what the things. Now, if you want to delete a variable, then for that also we have the syntax. You can delete the reference to a number object by using the delete statement. You can use del keyword to delete the variables in the in Python. If you want to delete a variable in Python, you will use del keyword to delete the created variables in the Python. Now, how can you do that? How can you do that? The syntax of the deleting Python statement is del statement is delete variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, variable n. Also, you can mention here. You can delete a single object or multiple object by using one single delete statement. For example, if you have created this variable, like if you want to delete this variable, then you will say that delete var a, delete var b. So in one shot, multiple variable also you can delete, or single variable also you can delete, multiple variables also you can delete. So we'll show you that some of the example of it, and we'll catch that one. Okay. Now if you see here, okay, so let's delete this one first. And what will be the output for this? Counter is equals to 100. So the moment you will run this one, it will give you 100. 100. Counter is equals to 100. If you want, you can mention here. Let's see whether it's work or not. Let's not do anything extra. Okay, now if you run, you are getting 100. Now if you do, now if you want to delete the variable, okay, if you want to delete the variable, what you will write? Delete counter. Counter is the variable, correct? You are deleting this variable. Counter is the variable, delete variable, and when you will print again this variable, it will throw error, guys. It will throw error. The moment it will, you will run this one, this variable will be deleted and it will throw error. Now you see here. Now see, name counter is not defined. Name counter is not defined. Name counter is not defined because you have deleted variable after running this one. Okay. So this is what your variables. Variable length is not there. It's not predefined. How much value you want, you can assign that one. We'll see that what are the data types are there and how much length it will support in maybe, and the data types we'll see. Can we the hi Jay, can we give different value to a variable like a string value for a variable which is given with the numeric value before? Yeah, you can. The moment you will see, the moment you will assign here, the moment you will assign the value here, See here, I'll show you that. Okay. Let's make it here A. A is equals to 100. Okay. A is equals to 100 and make it A here. The moment it will print two times. It is printing two times. When you assign print A, it is printing two times. Now I am going to assign A is equals to J. Okay. I'm going to assign a string value here. A string value here. So whatever the value you have assigned before and you have assigning now, what will happen? It will take the latest one. It will take the latest one. Now see, it is printing both. It is printing both. But like you can change the value. If you are writing like this, it will show you the latest variable name. It is printing the latest variable. You have changed this value to this string value. So you can do this all exercise. How much you will do, that much of you will learn. Okay, guys. So this is what the variable. So till where we have completed like this. So multiple assignment and all we can see tomorrow. Okay. So I'll share the document or I'll try to give access to the drive today and then we'll go for it. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you can ask later. Okay, guys, so we'll upload this one into YouTube. You just refer it and try to install Anaconda. It's very simple for the installation and it's very easy. Jupyter Notebook is very easy to use. You keep both the things in your like laptop and then try to do practice on all the like all together, like sometimes here, sometimes there. Okay, so bye everyone. Take care.